In this video, I'm gonna reveal the 3 worst freestyle drills.
The worst!
Now you should avoid these drills because they can actually do more harm than good. I've got good news for you though. I'm also gonna give you some alternative drills that can solve the same problem without causing injuries or messing up your stroke. Stick around, you're gonna wanna check this out. What's up guys, I'm CoachMattZ. I'm the head coach of Davis Aquatic Masters out in California, and I also make YouTube videos for people looking to learn more and elevate their swimming. In this video, we're gonna talk about bad, outdated drills that I think get used too often. These drills can not only mess up your technique, but can also lead to injury. Now I know there's a time and place for pretty much every drill, including these ones, but these ones should only be used for very limited reasons and should definitely not be your go-to drills. As we go through the list, I'm also going to give you some alternatives that are much more effective and won't injure you or mess up other aspects of your freestyle technique. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, let's kick things off with bad drill number 1, and that is heads up freestyle. Now, obviously, if you're a water polo player, you're going to need to be good at heads up freestyle. If that's you, skip ahead to the next section. But for the rest of us, this is not a good drill because it teaches you to swim with your head up, obviously, which is the opposite of how we want to swim. It's bad for your neck, it's bad for your shoulders, and it's bad for your body position. Now, I've seen people use this drill mostly to work on tempo. With your head up, you can shorten up your stroke and then speed up your arms. But even when we sprint, we want the head to be down. So practicing with your head up doesn't make much sense to me. If you're using heads up freestyle to work on your sighting for open water swims, there's a better way. Find a couple of things on deck that you can use as pretend buoys to sight. Then, while you're swimming, simply lift your head before you take a breath every 10 to 15 strokes. Try to spot that pretend buoy every time you lift your head. Remember, when you're sighting, you should be peeking at the buoy, not staring at it. All right, so now let's talk about some much better drills to work on your arm speed or your tempo. But before we do that, do me a huge favor, click that thumbs up button and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. Your support means a lot to me. All right, so alternate drill number 1 is gonna be fist drill. With this drill, you're gonna hold your hands in fists and swim freestyle, moving your arms as fast as you can. Because your hands are in a fist, you're pulling less water, so you'll be able to pull through the water faster. You'll also be able to feel the pull on your forearms, which is important because your forearms are about the same size as your hands. So we wanna make sure we're using those when you swim. This is a fun drill that you can do to get your tempo up and help get your arms ready to sprint. Alternative drill number 2 is swimming freestyle with a tempo trainer. With this drill, you're simply gonna set your tempo trainer to the desired tempo. You can do it per hand hit or per cycle. So if you're doing it per hand hit, every time the tempo trainer beeps, a hand should hit the water. Keep up with the beeps and you'll be improving your arm speed and thus your sprinting. Side note, there's a lot of cool ways you can use a tempo trainer. So if you're interested in learning more, let me know down in the comments and I will make a specific video on this cool piece of equipment. Another side note, this is a Finesse tempo trainer, which is my favorite kind of tempo trainer. And if you want to get yourself one of these or any other Finesse gear, go to finesseswim.com and use the code CoachMattZ to get 20% off. Finesse is an awesome brand and has all the gear you need, so go check them out. Moving on to bad drill number 2, this is single arm freestyle with the other arm out in front. I know this might be a little controversial, but just hear me out on this one. I love single arm drill. I think it's one of the best drills out there. But when you do it with the non-stroking arm out in front, it makes it hard to get the proper rotation and connection, which I feel is the most important part of the single arm drill. So if you're using this drill as a way to work on your rotation, you're just making it harder on yourself. Good news, this is an easy one to fix because the alternate drill here is just simply a single arm freestyle with the non-stroking arm at your side. So when you're doing this drill, focus on rotating your hips as you reach forward. Your hips should be fully rotated right when your arm is fully extended. I like doing this drill with a snorkel so I don't have to worry about the breathing, but you can also do it without a snorkel. Just make sure you take your breath toward the arm that is at your side right when your hand enters the water. I've got a great video on how to make your freestyle easier using this drill and a couple others. I'll link that in the description. When you finish this video, if you haven't already, go check that one out. Moving into our third and final bad drill, this is my least favorite freestyle drill and probably my least favorite drill for all the strokes.
This is the worst.
This one is called zipper drill. This drill is designed to help swimmers work on a high elbow recovery, and in my opinion, I don't think a high elbow recovery is really necessary. If it comes natural to you, great, go for it. But if you like having a straighter arm on the recovery, then do that. My thought on the recovery is, as long as it's relaxed and fast and doesn't negatively impact your pull, just roll with it. No need to make a change. In my experience, this drill puts your arm in a really awkward position, causing your body to wiggle and your hand to enter crossed over. Also, when your hand is up in your armpit, you're jamming your arm into your shoulder socket, which can cause shoulder injuries. Definitely not the way we want to swim freestyle. So when it comes to the recovery phase of your stroke, just do what comes natural to you. If you're struggling with your recovery or it's causing problems in your stroke, you can try one of these alternate drills. Alternate drill number 1 is called hesitation drill. For this drill, we're going to swim freestyle normally, but add a short pause right before your hand enters the water. Make sure when you pause your stroke, your elbow is up and your fingers are pointed diagonally out in front of you. Your hand and elbow should be in front of your head, not behind it. Pause there for a couple seconds, then switch to the other side. When I'm doing this drill, I also like to add a little skull with the arm that's out in front. It helps me engage those big back muscles so I can have a more powerful pull. You can also do this with a snorkel or without, whatever works best for you. This is a great drill that can help you clean up your recovery and your entry so you can have a more efficient freestyle stroke. If you're really struggling with your recovery and feel like you need to get your elbow up a little more, you can try alternate drill number 2, and that is fingertip drag. This drill is pretty simple. You're just going to swim freestyle normally, but let your fingertips drag in the water as you do your recovery. It's similar to zipper drill in that you're going to keep your elbow up and your fingertips down, but with fingertip drag, you can do a wider recovery, which will help your body line and protect your shoulder. Still not one of my favorites, but if you need to get your elbow up on your recovery for whatever reason, it's a much better option than zipper drill. And finally, alternate drill number 3 is what I call tap, tap, switch. With this drill, you're going to recover your hand and tap the water at your entry point. Then bring your hand back and tap your hip. Then do a regular recovery, entry, and switch to the other side. Because you're spending so much time with your arm out of the water, you can focus on finding a relaxed and comfortable recovery that complements your stroke. And another bonus, it's a great leg workout. There you have it, guys, my 3 least favorite freestyle drills and some much better drills to use instead. Remember, everyone is different, and what works for one person may not work for another. What's important is that you figure out what the problem is, then come up with the correct drill to solve it. If you're having trouble figuring out the problem, talk to your coach or have somebody record you. If you know the problem but don't know the solution, ask me down in the comments. I'd love to help you out. Thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. I'm CoachMattZ. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I'll see you next time.